So I still owe you a video on the road trip that we recently took to Disney, but before we get to the road trip, there was something that did happen on that road trip that I'd like to take a look at today. So unfortunately, we did hit some road debris. There was a chunk of tire that popped up, and as good as autopilot is, it did not avoid hitting that piece of tire, which of course is just as on me as it is on autopilot because I didn't avoid it. It came up pretty quick. So unfortunately, that piece of tire did hit the front bumper here, and you can see left a pretty good mark. So I'm going to see if that all comes out, because if you recall, I did put ceramic coating on there, so hopefully that helped protect the paint. In this case, it is not nearly as good as a PPF film there, but the ceramic coating should still help, with an extra layer of protection on the paint. So let's see if that wipes up. But in addition to that, you might notice here that not only is there a mark, which again, it feels like it's on top of the surface, so I think it'll come off, but this light is actually a little bit pushed in. Still functions and everything. I checked it. It's working no problem, but it is popped in. It looks like maybe it came undone from something that was securing it in there. If we look at the other one over here, on the other side, nice and firm, and it comes out more towards the edge there of the surface. So might have to see if there's some way to pop that back in on this side as well. So we'll take a look at that after I see about getting this off. Alright, so this isn't actually Windex. This is actually just a rinseless wash solution. Gonna spray it on there really good. Use a microfiber cloth and see if it just wipes off, hopefully. So far looking pretty good there. So I actually had to bring the car back in the garage because there's a bunch of people mowing the grass out there, so it got pretty loud. But I did go ahead and wipe that off, and it actually looks pretty good, I think. I think the ceramic coating did help out with that. Obviously, again, just lucky that it was that type of material, the tire, that just basically rubbed off onto the car rather than actually scratching the car. In most cases, the ceramic coating is not going to do much for road debris and protecting it, but in this case, it helped it more easily clean off, I guess, is what happened. So here you go, after it got cleaned off there, cleaned up really nice, I think. I can't see anything left from that. So now we just need to check out and see if we can do something about that little pushed in light there. So to see if we can do anything about this, I think I'm going to see if we can pop off the panel here on the underside. Looks like it just needs a little screwdriver to pop these off. And then hopefully this will come down enough that I can maybe reach in there and see if I can just push it back into place. Alright, so there are a few clips like this one that we just popped out. And I'm going to take a few of these out and see if we can get at least this side of the front bumper undercarriage area to come down so that I can reach up. Really, it's only about 8 inches or so if we can get this side off. So I took out 6 clips from the front under body, and then I took this part off so that I could get to the light from the wheel well here. And unfortunately, it looks like it is secured with a screw on the bottom side. So I'm thinking whatever clip or whatever might have been off is probably on the top side of the light rather than the bottom, or maybe there's something on that side. So at this point, I wonder if it might be easier to get from the top, or it may just be something that's a little bit beyond what I am capable of doing, because I do not know how to take this apart, and I don't want to do anything that's going to be too hard to put back together. So for now, I'm going to call it a day and just put this back together. Alright, so here is the trim piece around the wheel well, and just wanted to make a little note on these little buggers here. These are particularly difficult to get out of this if they do not come off with the trim piece. So if they don't come off with the trim piece, you have to slide it in back to the trim piece all around. After you're able to force it out of that hole originally, but just need to get them all lined up so it just snaps back in place. Had a really hard time getting this one and this one up here out of the holes in the actual body of the car here. So just a note. They are not a big deal. I know you can get replacements for these things, but obviously I don't want to have to hunt those down, and I had to get these things out in order to put the trim back on, so got to be careful with that. Got the trim piece back in here. Just have to click it down all around. There's a couple little slots here that actually it pushes into, so it's nice and secure now. Just need to replace all of these little clips that are around. There's one here. So that's all the ones that I took off around the wheel well. There were 1, 2, and there's a third one somewhere up in here, right there, underneath the trim piece. So I had to take all 3 of those off. This one actually goes over the trim piece to kind of connect everything back together. You got this piece back here securing to this, and this secures the trim piece there to this trim piece. And then I just need to put all of the 6 trim pieces, or 6 of these little things, back in to this bottom trim piece, and then we'll be all set. So those little clips were a little bit more difficult than I was expecting to get them back on the other side of the car, but I was able to get all 6 of the ones that I took off the undercarriage there back in place, as well as the wheel well trim piece around there. Unfortunately, I was not able to get the light put back in place, which was obviously the whole point of that, but at least I did get the front bumper cleaned off there, so we know that there's no damage from the road debris on the paint. It's just a matter of I'm pretty sure, just getting that light clipped back into place. So next step, I'll probably try again later to see if I can get through from the top in the front here. So I'm hoping that I can go in from the top here, see if we can get this front bucket out and see if I can access it from over here, because if I can get in it from the top here, maybe I can see if we can pop it back in place, because I really think it's just a clip here that's causing this to be kind of pushed in. But unfortunately, I cannot see anything from the bottom side of it that it seems to be out of place. I mean, it could be something on this side. I'm not sure what that bracket looks like. It was definitely larger on the bottom, and there was a screw on the bottom, but could not see anything around on the top. So we'll have to check that out later and maybe another time. But for now, everything functions fine. It's really just aesthetics. It just gets a little bit, probably get some water in there actually, which is probably not great. Actually, let's see if I can see. Yeah, can't really see anything there, but I think there might be a clip right next to it. I really wish I could just pull it out from the outside. That would be even easier, but anyway, I'll check that out some other time and see if we can get that fixed. So if you know how to take the front bucket out, or how to access that specific light, the little turn signal slash fog lights there at the bottom, please let me know. I know that there's got to be some way to get to it. I just don't know the easiest way to get to it, and I don't want to take the entire bumper off. Hopefully that would be pretty irritating to have to do that, but I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world. We did do the install on the Model 3 to get the trailer hitch on the Model 3, so it's possible to take the bumper off. Just gonna have to find some instructions on how to do that. So if you know how the best way to get to that light is, please leave below in the comments and let me know. I'll see if I can check that out. And as always, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.